you how to set up your basic users. The first thing that you actually need to do is go to user groups and create and define a user group. You can create several different types of user groups, and they basically define what that user can do or that user group itself can do. For this one, we'll actually call them in-house agents, or in this case you can't use punctuate or spaces. Give it a description and then hit enter. Once you've created it, you can go into this user group and give it access to all kinds of different functions and capabilities within the system. In this case, they have access to every campaign that's actually created. Tells you what time they can actually enroll, or they can log in. Tells you which stats they can view on all the groups. In our case, we like limiting the groups down to viewing their own group stats. And then it tells you what they can actually do. Consultative override, dial override, voice messaging, blind transfers. We usually keep dial with customer available so they can actually transfer between groups. And again, what they can actually access. If it's a user group, you usually keep them or give them no access to anything. If it's a group like a remote group or an overseas channel, you're going to want to give them access to certain reports in here so they can still see it. As far as allowed user groups, again, you want to limit them down to themselves, and then call times set up how you want to. Once you have the user group set, you can actually create the user. Simply click users, add new user, create a user number. In this case, we'll use 2001. Give it a password, username. For the level, you can keep it at level 1 as they're going to be a simple user. For the user group, you're now going to select the user group that you previously created. Once you do that, simply click submit, and then again you'll have more options on what you can give access to this user. Read through each one of them carefully, and if you have any questions, simply click the question mark. It's pretty detailed on the explanation on what it can do. This option, if set to 1, allows the user to use hotkeys by quick dispositioning the function in the agent screen. Again, go through, give them access to what you want them to have access to. Agent doing the transfers, agent have the ability to do manual calls, yes or no, 1 being yes, 0 being no. And once you have that set up, scroll down to the bottom and click submit. Once you've set everything up with the agent, you should be able to test it out by clicking home, agent login. In this case, I don't have a phone set up, but your user login will be 2001 and then password. From there, if it had an active campaign, you can actually see the campaign here and say they'll have access to it. Or by clicking the refresh campaign list, you'll see a campaign if you recently went in there and recently turned it on. Again, this dialer is a freshly set up and configured dialer, so there's no campaigns. But once you do have the campaign set up, you can go to the user group and you can decide which campaigns you're going to give them access to, whether it be all campaigns or certain select campaigns.